continue to our discussion, and in our discussion I intend to talk about a book called Wrath for Udomo, A Wrath for Udomo. This book was written by Peter Abrahams. Now, Peter Abrahams is a South African novelist who writes, about the apartheid era, in the time of the apartheid. Now, this book tells a story of the protagonist, whose name is Michael Adonis. Now, a young colored man who becomes, entangled in the political turmoil of his country. Also, what we see is that as Michael navigates a complexity of race, identity, and power, he becomes, increasingly delusioned with the injustices of the apartheid system. Now, the novel explores the themes of oppression, resistance, and the quest for freedom. As Michael, grapples with his own sense of morality and the harsh realities of life under apartheid, through vivid characters and evocative prose, Abrahams points a vivid portrayal of a society on the brink of change, offering a powerful, commentary on the human cost of race, racial discrimination, and the struggle for equality. Now, what is the style that is used in this book? We also see that, Peter Abrahams, in his novel, utilizes a symbolism to convey deeper layers of meaning and thematic resonance. For example, Udomo serves as a symbolic figure of resistance and hope, representing, the aspiration of those fighting against apartheid. Similarly, the landscape of South Africa becomes a symbolic backdrop of the larger social and political conflicts unfolding within the narrative. So this is how symbolism is used in this book. Now, who are the characters that are found in this book? As usual, I only delve into the major characters. I will not concentrate so much on other smaller or minor characters as per se. So the characterization is that we have number one, Michael Adonis, who is the protagonist or the central character in the story. Now, Michael is a complex and introspective young man of mixed race. He is deeply affected by the injustice of the apartheid systems of South Africa, increasingly involved in the struggle against it. So he's one who is trying to fight, against injustices that are going on in the time of apartheid. So Michael's journey is marked by the inner conflict as he grapples with the questions of identity, the questions of royalty, and the question of morality. Number two, the character that we find also is Udomo. Now, Udomo is a symbol of resistance and rebellion against the oppressive regime. He represents the hope for the change and aspires Michael and others to change the status quo. So Udomo's character embodies strength, courage, and determination in the face of adversity. The third character that we also see in this book is Hendrix. Now, Hendrix is a white police officer who represents, the oppressive forces of the apartheid government. He is portrayed as ruthless and authoritarian, willing to use, violence and intimidation to maintain control. Now, Hendrix serves as a foil to Michael, highlighting the stark contrast between the oppression and the oppressed. Now, remember, if you do always want to understand that the most potent tool in the mind of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. Without the mind of the oppressor wouldn't survive. And so obvious, the reason for using, force to control is to keep the mind of the oppressed in control. The fourth character we may talk about is Sarah. Now, Sarah is Michael's love interest, and a fellow activist. She is depicted as intelligent, passionate, and fearlessly dedicated to the cause of freedom. Sarah's character provides emotional depth to the story and serves as a source of inspiration for Michael. Of course, it's not because of love, but we should suspect that, of course, love also is driving an element of the courageousness that we are seeing here in Michael too. The fifth character that I may wish to talk about is Miss Adonis. So, Michael's mother, Miss Adonis, is a strong and resilient woman who has endured hardship and discrimination. She instills in Michael a sense of pride in his heritage and a desire to fight for justice. What are some of the themes that we see in the book, The Wrathful Udomo? Number one, oppression and resistance. Now, at the heart of the novel lies the theme of oppression and resistance it endangers. Now, the apartheid system systematically discriminates against non-white South Africans, restricting their freedoms and opportunities based on race. The characters, particularly Michael and Udomo, represents a spirit of resilience and rebellion against the oppressive regime, highlighting the resilience of the human spirit in the face of injustice. Number two is a theme of identity and belonging. Now, the novel explores questions of identity and belonging, particularly for the mixed race individuals like Michael. He grapples with feelings of displacement and alienation, struggles to reconcile his African heritage with his European ancestry. Now, through Michael's journey, the novel delves into the complexity of racial discrimination and racial identity and research for sense of belonging in the society that seeks to recategorize and marginalize based on race. The third theme that we can talk about, of course, is theme of injustice and morality. Now, what do we see here? Abrams confronts the moral ambiguities inherent in a society built on racial hierarchy and discrimination. Characters are forced to confront their own complicities in perpetuating injustice or their resistance against it. So the novel raises questions about moral responsibility and ethnical imperative to change oppressive regimes, even at a great personal risk. So it takes. Number four, love and solidarity. So amidst the turmoil of apartheid, the novel celebrates the power of love, solidarity to transcend barriers of race and class. Michael's relationship with Sarah, a fellow activist, demonstrates the transformative potential of human connection in the struggle of injustice and in the struggle for justice. Their love becomes a source of strength and inspiration. I don't know why and how it happens that anytime that a man and a woman will meet and when they're about to bring about change where there is alleged love, there is always unity. So this is what you are seeing in Michael and Sarah. Love also conquers many things. So their love becomes a source of strength and inspiration, uniting them in their commitment to the fight against oppression. And the last theme that we can talk about, of course, is a theme of hope and resilience. Now, despite the pervasive injustices of apartheid, the novel ultimately conveys a message of hope and resilience. Characters like Udomo embody the indomitable spirit of resistance, inspiring others to persevere in the face of adversity. So through acts of courage and defiance, the characters demonstrate the capacity of individuals to affect change and challenge oppressive systems, even in the darkest of the times. So Wrathful Udomo, of course, is a book that portrays, South African apartheid at a time when there was apartheid in South Africa. So Peter Abrahams tries to explore many things and tries to bring out, to light what was happening in the time of apartheid by using these characters that we have talked about and Indianizing these themes that which we have brought forth on board. So this is what this book is all about, and thank you so much.